Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get faster, how we make our RDC athletes faster, and I'm also going to show you some other things like how you can do skill sessions within a speed session. Okay, so what you're going to get out of this is a speed session as well. I'm going to show you some of my speed drills that I do with my athletes as well, and I'm going to show you some skills you do in between while you're resting, because when you're doing your speed work, you want to rest, and if you're a rugby player, you want to have a lot of skills. Doing my warm-up now, so I always like to get my arms, my legs going, getting that drive up through my knees, getting my arms up. I always love to start with this. Doesn't matter how old they are, doesn't matter if you're professional or if you're not, just get that feel. All right, arms in the right place, feet coming down, landing on that mid part of the foot to start off with. I love starting with that. Just makes me feel like I can get into the bounce and I can do it a bit faster. So that's my warm-up generally, just building into it before I go into some side hops, stick. Always like to stick these landings. The other one. And I go into my hops. Even with my hops, I still try and hit that middle foot, mid part of my foot. Then I go into my broad jumps. And usually I just warm into it. I do about 3 rounds of that in my programming. It's usually around 3 to 4 rounds, and I break them up into different exercises or different blocks depending what we're doing. And then I might go into something a bit more explosive, and we go into our bounding, so a stiff-legged bounding. So this one's really good for the hammies. Let's get the real pull through. Trying to do it slow so you can see it. Arms up, pull through, those legs straight. Still, once you hit that midfoot, I want you to pull through that hamstring. I want that hamstring to firing. And we'll move into our 10-meter accelerations. So I usually build these up. So once I've warmed up, I've done 3 rounds of that, I'll then go into some sort of accels, but really short distance. This will allow you to get moving, get going. I don't expect the first one, first maybe 2, to be as fast as possible, but then you should really be able to hit it from there. And I like to work those short accelerations, that 10-meter mark, because most of rugby, you're not accelerating past 10 meters. Like 5 meters is a lot of it anyway. So a really easy skill to have is having really good hands. Now, having good hands is going to allow you to catch better balls, and you're not always going to get perfect passes. As much as you would like a perfect pass, if you can catch more balls and you just do it by reflexes, it's going to enhance your game. You're going to catch and not have to think about it, and you'll just be able to run. Okay, so the first one I like to do after my sprints or in between my sprints is just count how many I can do around my body really fast. In between, you're going to be doing skill 1. Even though it's 10 meters, you still need that rest. I still want you to rest long so you can get as much power as possible. Once you've done that and you've rested, 2 minutes, you're off again. So the big things that I see when people send me their speed videos, all our RDC clients, is they'll land really far in front of the body. They land heel first. They won't get that turnover and get their foot down like this. They'll usually either land like that, which is not powerful, or they'll land heel in front, and it's just not powerful. You're not going to use the springs of the ankle. So there's the first thing I really try and fix, and that's going to actually help out your speed. So doing like your banded sprints, where you have some behind you, a sled, is actually going to really help you get forward. Right now I don't have the sled here, or I don't have a partner, so I'm not using that. The other thing that we like to get right to is the arms. We've got to get these arms right. A lot of kids especially, they don't have the arms right. They usually don't go with their body, and then you get adults and the arms just go across the body. There's too much going on. If we can really simplify that, usually you get really good speed gains. Everyone needs to be able to pass. If you don't have a good pass, it's all right. You can work at it, okay? And the reason why you need it is because if you can put a ball out in front of someone, no matter where you are on the field, it's actually going to help out your whole team, right? Because it's going to help you guys get on the front foot. And the more you get on the front foot, the easier it is for the whole team. It is to get the clean out. It is to help someone beat a tackle. If you get front foot ball, it is so much better. And that's pretty much rugby league, is getting that front foot ball. So my next drill is just passing the ball up to yourself. One hand, catching it. That wasn't a good start. Bit of wind around. That's better. I like to usually do 10 in between on each hand. That wasn't a good one either. And when you throw it straight up to yourself, try and get it in close to your chest and get it straight up. So this is a really good skill you can do on your own. You can do it at home. You can do it in between your sprint sessions. Okay, really good, handy thing to have a ball. Obviously, when you're catching it, I want you to try and catch with soft hands. Okay, get used to that. Get used to having it really high and catching with soft hands. Soft hands. So this one, you're just going to sprint out 5 meters and you're going to change direction 45 degrees. Now you want to do 5 on each side of this. So the big thing is I don't want you to slow down and I want you to push off the outside of your foot. So if I'm going to go left, my left, okay, I'm going to step off my right. So the ball's here, and I like a big ball for this rather than just a cone because people just step on the cones. If you kick the ball away, you haven't done it right. Okay, so you're going to go bang, step off the outside foot, and step out while keeping your pace. What you'll see is a lot of kids will go on the inside. They'll try and get their pace that way, where you don't have as much drive out there. Okay, so get out, bang. Left foot to go right. Keep that pace. Keep rolling through. Keep those feet going down. In between this one, I want you to be doing step number 3, or the skill number 3. Okay, which is you have your feet, hands in tight, and you'll push it straight up. Ball in tight, straight up. Really point those fingers. So the third drill to do by yourself. Easy passing one. You're going to start in really close to your chest and you go straight up. So there's no little wind up. I don't mind a bit of a wind up with one hand. It allows you to get a feel for it. But with the 2 hands, I want you to go straight from your chest, straight up. And like you're passing out to the side, I want you to finish pointing your fingers. Okay, so straight up. Whoop, I want to do it. We always want to lean and try and get our hips into it. I just want you to use your arms. Get used to using your arm power. And point straight up. Get that arm power into it. Last one is your decel, so you're going to work on how fast you can decelerate. So, which means you need to actually get going fast. Okay, so 20-meter sprint, and I want you to decelerate within 5 meters. So I've come home from the fields now, and I want to talk to you about what are you going to do in the gym to help make you fast? Because there's a couple of things that we need for our speed. And how I make athletes fast is, one, obviously we get the sprint technique. That's what we're doing at the park. We do our sprint sessions. You actually get to practice that sprint technique. You get to practice being fast. You need to sprint. Number 3 is you actually need to be strong. You need to be strong for how heavy you are. So if you weigh 100 kilos and you can only squat 100 kilos, then it's going to be very hard for you to be fast because you're not going to have much force going into the ground. And that acceleration phase, I find that the more strong someone is in their back squat relative to their body weight, the faster they have that explosive movement off the mark. Okay, and I put that down to a lot of pound for pound strength. Okay, and that's just the ability to put that force down into the ground. Now, it's not everything, and you still need to do your plyometrics work. So you also, the other component is doing your power work. Okay, we see it all the time. Now, what do I like? Well, I'm a big believer in getting my athletes strong for how heavy they are. Okay, so some people need to lose some fat. Okay, and that's fine. If they lose some fat, they're actually going to be stronger for how heavy they are. So if they go from 120 kilos down to 100 kilos, but they actually get stronger at the same time, then the ratio of how much muscle or how much strength they have per kilo of body weight has gone up massively, which is automatically going to make them faster. They're going to move so much easier. Okay, so that's something you need to think about. Or if you're putting on weight, okay, so this is the case for a lot of rugby players. They put on weight, they slow down. I just spoke to someone yesterday who got told not to do too many squats and deadlifts because it's going to make him slow. And I was like, oh, you poor kid getting told that from coaches that don't actually understand how to make you fast. They're just old footy coaches, you know, and like I don't have anything against them. They're doing their best they possibly can, but that's just not good advice. And that's why I do these videos, because I want obviously you to be able to get fast, okay? And I want to show you how I help people get fast. So squat, I like to full squat. I like to quarter squat. I have nothing against different squats. Everything's got its time and place. But at first, I like to build up everyone's full squat all the way down, their front squat. These are the big things I build up. And like I always go over, build big legs, all right? Legs are what's connecting you to the ground. That's where our power is going through. So we need big legs. At the same time, I'm also teaching weightlifting variations. Now, I'll try and keep these as simple as possible. So I'm going to put some videos up next to me of you seeing clean shrugs, snatch high pulls, just really simple exercises where we actually don't have to do that much range of motion. And then we have our plyometric stuff. So like our drop jumps where we're just jumping off something and landing. They're always really good. And then we just build up our plyometrics. Like you don't need to go straight to the highest or the hardest plyometrics. I try and gradually build up people and build up their tolerance to it, because a lot of people will find that their tendons can't keep up. So really important if you actually want to get fast, right, is we cover all four of those things. So sprint technique, sprinting, and then getting strong pound for pound. How strong are you? And that includes upper body as well, actually. So I didn't talk about your upper body strength. But upper body strength matters. How you move your arms and your body, you rotate, like all these things actually matter. Okay, so I want you to think about that. And so like chin ups, your bench press, any sort of actually incline press for sprinting, all right, because that rotational force, all right, you need to have a strong incline press. Or you don't need to. I like my athletes to have a strong incline press. Okay, so 45-degree incline press is a good measure of how much power you can get up through the shoulders. There's a lot of deltoid in that too, but upper pecs too, to be able to actually push through. So there's some of our keys. What other exercises? I'm going to list off my strength exercises. So number one is my back squat. I like to see everyone having a good back squat. Then we need our hamstring strong. So we need Nordic curls, hamstring curls, back extensions. These are all exercises I use in my programs. Single leg back extensions are a really nice one for your hammies and glutes, I find. It really allows you to get stuck into them. What else? Reverse hypers. You can't see it right now. I actually bought a reverse hyper. And then you can do some single leg stuff too, like your Bulgarians, split squats. I don't mind them. I don't use them a whole bunch. I try and use very stable exercises. Okay, so I even use machines. So if I'm doing a hypertrophy phase, then I'm going to be using more machine stuff. I'm doing stuff that's more stable. And even saying that, when we're doing speed stuff, like as we get closer to the season, what I do with all my RDC athletes is we'll go through different phases of like where we're doing heavy stuff, right? But it's usually going to be really slow. Then we're going to actually back off the weight, use bands on the weight connected to the floor, and you're going to do things quite fast, okay? So how fast you do a movement changes, and also changes the strength curve of the exercise. So these are some of the things that we can add in. So I'll put videos here. You can watch through what we do. And yeah, hopefully that helps you out. So it's just, let's make sure you get strong. Make sure you get down, do these sprint sessions. It's really going to help you out. Please like and share this. It really helps me out. And yeah, it's going to help out other people who get to see this. And if you are looking to push your training to the next level, then we have our RDC coaching. You'll need to message me. We're currently full. Message me and you can get the next spot.